And in 1 Corinthians 3:16, it says, "Know ye not that you are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?" 1 Corinthians 3:17 says, "If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple are you also?" Now, many of the requests in the church, as much as 80% of the requests in the church are for healing. And that shouldn't be so. We should be healthy and strong. We shouldn't need that much healing. And many times when we are healed in the church, we go back to improper eating, and that brings on, again, either the same illness or something else. So God's grace is so wonderful. He gives us the power of the Holy Spirit to help heal and heal people. But if you're going back to improper ways of doing and improper thinking, improper ways of eating and thinking, then you'll just go back to the same ways or maybe even worse. So our body is magnificently made by the Lord, and we're to put proper fuel into our body. When we put the proper fuel into our body, then we'll have proper health. And so when you put the wrong oil or the wrong gasoline into machinery and things, then you'll have problems. And that's called the pinging and the knocking. They use that in equipment when things aren't working right, then mechanically there's something wrong, and there's some maintenance things that need to be corrected. And in our body, that can be signs like heart disease, cancer, colon cancer, diabetes, bird flu, swine flu, rat flu, colds and headaches and things like these, that our body is telling us, well, there's something wrong, there's something wrong, there's something we're doing wrong. If you have those types of things and those kinds of things coming upon you, you really need to take an effort to find out what that is, and it's probably primarily is what you're eating. Your eating affects all areas of your life. If you have a garbage diet of improper food, then you will have a garbage body. So a garbage diet means a garbage body, and you'll suffer from so many of these things that come upon us. Primarily, you want to try to eat 85% raw and 15% cooked. That would be the ideal. The supreme ideal would be 100% raw fruit and vegetables, primarily. That's difficult to do sometimes, but primarily that would be God's best way for you to eat. Lots of greens, lots of minerals and vitamins in greens, and lots of fruits and vegetables. This will give you the best program of eating and the best health, the best vitality. Now, cooked food, problem with cooked food, it destroys a lot of the vitamins and the minerals. And how it does it isn't exactly understood, but it does destroy a lot of the vitamins and the minerals. And so our body isn't used to that type of additive to our body. And so we suffer from some of these problems. And it also, the heat kills enzymes at 108 degrees. Enzymes are like a spark plug. Enzymes are so important. Whenever you process food or whenever you heat the food, change the food other than the way God created it, then we're affecting the enzymes, we're affecting surgistically all these things that come into the food process that we don't really understand totally. We think we understand a lot of it, but we're just looking through a glass darkly. And so what happens is when anything is processed or fooled with, you might say, by mankind and made more easy for us, a lot of times it's just destroying what God created. I have in front of me an example of that. One carrot was cooked and boiled in water, and it's dead. It's dead. And the other carrot was not cooked and put in the same amount of water in the same time, same glass, same type of glass. And what's happening here, and I hope it shows up on the video, the carrot that wasn't cooked is still stiff and it's still hard. And it also, what's interesting, it's starting to grow. There's a little tiny growth here of a leaf and a leaf over here. And this carrot is so denatured by the heat that it just shriveled up. And it's very soft and mushy and is actually unedible. And probably you would, if you ate this carrot particularly, it would probably cause a problem with your body because it's going to use more energy to get rid of the bad toxins in it than it would be if you were to eat this live carrot. This is a live carrot because it wasn't cooked, and it's been 2 weeks. These have been here 2 weeks. This one is growing because it's alive. We just cut the ends off of each one. This one is dead because it was boiled. And notice the difference in the water. This water is basically drinkable for after 2 weeks. This is a live carrot, and this is a dead carrot. And if you notice, everything was done exactly the same. The dead carrot that was cooked is actually got something in the water. I don't know what it is. It's mold or something, but it's very much denatured. And another interesting thing about this water is that there's flies in this water, and the flies are being attracted because it's dead. It's kind of like a fungus growth or something. And this carrot has no flies in it. And so you can see the difference between a live food and dead food. And it's a good example of what happens in our body when we're eating processed foods and things like this that shouldn't be eaten, because we're eating cooked food and cooked vegetables and processed foods, too much sugar, too much white flour, too much salt that isn't natural salt. And this is the difference between a live body, which is limp and dead and attracts diseases and flies and things like this, whereas the live carrot is fairly clean and is stiff and hard. And I could eat this carrot. It probably wouldn't taste real good, but it would taste well enough to get nutrition out of it. And we're talking about 2 weeks in a container. Minerals are inorganic, and in the plants and the soil, minerals are inorganic. And then through the enzymes, it goes through an organic form, and we can absorb it into our bodies. And that's why the minerals can be absorbed into the bodies, because of the enzyme and the proteins and the things like this that go into the action of the body. And the highest quality food is raw food. Raw fruits and vegetables. Again, it's so simplistic that it just almost goes over a person's head. And when I was learning some of this thing, when I was learning some of these things, I learned that proper eating means proper eating. And we were all told, well, eat fresh, raw, ripe, and organic, and that's the only way that you're going to have excellent health. It's a strange thing, but it's not what we eat, it's what we absorb that goes into health. So you can eat all kinds of food, like we were talking about bulk food. You can eat all kinds of food and have bulk, but that doesn't mean you're getting nourished. It's what we absorb into our cells. If you feed your cells, then your body knows that you're getting proper nutrition. So as soon as you eat a fresh fruit or a vegetable that's raw, ripe, and organic, and it doesn't have to be organic, like bananas. Bananas don't absorb pesticides hardly at all, so you can buy regular bananas. But when we eat these things, then our brain automatically, as soon as you put it in your mouth, the body is so magnificently made, the brain knows we're eating real good food. The brain already knows that, and so it starts processing that, and we eat less of it instead of more bulk foods. So when we eat the natural ingredients, the brain knows what we're eating. The brain knows what we're eating. The brain immediately identifies what we're eating, because there's a biochemical process that goes into the process of the brain and the taste buds, and it actually puts out some kind of electrical chemistry that the brain identifies as food. And so we eat less food because we're getting more nutrients. And the more nutrients you eat, the less food you need. So that's why it's important to go back to proper eating and proper nutrition. Now, when eating a carrot, we get 30% of the vitamins and minerals. If we were to eat a carrot like this, we get approximately 30% of the vitamins and minerals. But when we juice a carrot, the juicing of the carrot, we get 80% of the vitamins and minerals, because it's so absorbed so fast into the body, because we're getting rid of the fiber. Now the fiber is good in a lot of ways, but if you really want some real energy and some vitality and to feed your cells very quickly, then you can juice. And we'll just quickly show a demonstration of juicing here. You turn on your juicer, of course, on high speed. You can just drop a carrot in. Celery. Carrot. Apple. Now what we've just done is we've juiced a carrot, apple, and a couple celeries. Now that's not enough juice for one person for a day. You want to drink primarily you want to drink about a half a gallon of juice per day. A half a gallon of juice per day is not too much. It sounds like a lot because we're not doing it, and it's just odd and it's new to us. But again, we just juiced a carrot, we just juiced an apple, and we juiced some celery. And when we're doing that, we're getting about 80% of the vitamins and minerals versus eating it, because we've eliminated so much of the fiber. And this product will go into your body very rapidly. Your brain recognizes it as food, and it will just start giving you more vitality and nutrition right away. You'll feel better. And by the way, you won't be hungry for a long time because your body is being fed. As long as you're feeding your cells, that's all the body cares about. If it's getting nutrition, your body recognizes it.